and gentlemen, it's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? It's showtime.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yow, yow.
Sorry. Can't hear you. Nope, can't hear. You're low. You're low. Low, low. Keep talking. Yeah, you're low. You're low, partner. You're low. Ladies and gentlemen, we're shooting to get any technical issues sorted out. Welcome to the night of LM Boys Football Talk. It's your boy Simone, host. It's your boy KG, representing the Eagles and the 49ers. Sheeta, you with us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
All right. As Shane was saying, welcome back. It's another night of Island Boys Football Talk, Week 8. Week 8 wrap-up show. Jizzle, Shane, Treaty in the building. Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers, and the other team. Can't really say what other team is right now. But again, Tuesday night means it's our weekly wrap-up show. We had two victories. Philly versus Cincinnati. Good win for Philly. And San Fran versus Dallas. Good win for San Fran. And then, Carolina and Denver. Just the same old, same old. So we got a lot to talk about. Niners win, Eagles win, and state of the Panthers. But before we get into it, streaming live off of our YouTube platform. The show will be put up on Twitter shortly, but show your love and support by liking and subscribing to our page at Island Boys Football Talk. And also, if you do want to show your love and support, you can always send us a cash app. Anything is much appreciated at Money Sign Island Boys Football Talk. So, like I said, guys, week 8 wrap-up show. Again, Philly had a good win against the Bengals. Seeing you guys, good win against the Cowboys, and then it's the same old for the Panthers. So we'll go through all of them tonight. I don't know if you guys want to kick off the bad and then end on the two goods, or you want to start on the two goods and end off on the bad. Your choice.
Let's start off with the bad.
All right, let's kick it off the we. Like I said, so the Panthers played the Broncos. Again, everything looked like a new beginning for the Panthers. Bryce Young was back in because Andy Dalton had a car accident and he had the sprained thumb on his throwing hand, so we don't know how long that's going to be. But Bryce Young had a chance to, put himself back in the conversation for being the Panthers starter going forward. Started off the game good, first possession first series. He forced a fumble on Denver, and Bryce Young and those guys drove the ball right down the field. Easy touchdown. We only had about 40-something yards to go, but I was there like, oh, well, this got to be a new Panthers, but again, it's just sometimes. According to Nelly, it was only just a dream because after that we went back to the same old Panthers. Again, we made another quarterback look like he should be in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. Bo Nix had 3 touchdown passes and a rushing touchdown. We made Bo Nix look like he was the number one draft pick that can't miss. Again, the defense is a huge liability. I'll start there. Ashawn Robinson had 2 sacks, finally came through, but we're so lack on talent again. But there are some bright spots. Stephen Clowney played well. Ashawn Robinson had 2 sacks, played well. Shai Tuttle forced a fumble, which was good. Joseph Jewell came back and played well. Again, some young rookies play. Demana Richardson, he's an undrafted free agent from Texas A&M. A little shaky, but he came along smooth. But my issue with the Panthers on defense is it's not like I can understand that the players we don't have the talent. But Jesus Christ, I know you're gonna have to fire Vero at the end of the season. I know you guys, everybody on the Panthers had like him and everything, but you just don't sit there and just take the riding like that. You got to change something. You gotta get covers. You gotta do it when we call something else. It does look so out of the box for them. Like we stay there and just get abused. Like I can't sit there and just watch the Panthers stay there on defense and just do the same thing over and over and over. As a defensive coordinator, I gotta say enough is enough. And I rather you beat me on a cover zero blitz or something, but just don't stay there. The thing about it is that Cortland Sutton went out there and just ride Mike Jackson, ride him left, right, and center. Why would you just put JC Horn to shadow Cortland Sutton all day? All JC Horn does is stay on one side to lock down that side. So all them do is put Cortland Sutton on the other side. And he ride Mike Jackson all day, all night. Long riding for Juve Morning. I just don't understand how you could just stay there and take that kind of riding. You have to switch it up. Our team is just, we know, it's not a good team right now. There's no, if I have to look at a high point from the defensive side of the ball, JC Horn hasn't gotten injured yet. We know he hasn't completed a full season, so he's going good so far. What else I can really say about that side of the ball? Trevin Wallace, he's coming along as a rookie. I think him calling the players, having agreed, that was a little too much for him when both Shaq Thompson and Joseph Jewell went out. But him now having Joseph Jewell back now should be helpful to him. But the whole defensive line got to get scrapped, in my opinion. Ashawn could probably stay there next year, but Shai Tuttle needs to go. Who the hell is LeBron Ray and Nick Tormund? They consistently put these guys out there like them is some type of play. You trying to tell me the best thing we could do? I see they got a fella. I watched the fella from what his name is from Baylor. He was just on the Eagles practice squad. Siaki Ika. Hey, 345 pounds. We getting abused on the run. Son, he put him as a nose tackle and clock up the whole lane. Hey, got some damn LeBron Ray out there just getting pushed around. With this 3-4 defense thing, you gotta have 3 big dumb linemen and let the linebackers eat. But we don't do it. LeBron Ray just getting right. Shai Tuttle getting pushed around, and Ashawn is trying to do what he can, but you're a little hobble number. You got to get. I always say, and I keep tweeting it all the time. These games are won in the trenches, and we cannot win no game in the trench on the defensive side of the ball. That's why we get right on defense all the time. We bring no sense on the trench. We had no kind of competition on the trench. The offensive side of the ball, I'll credit Dan Morgan, I'll credit his you. He's fixed the offensive side of the ball. Icky has come along a great way this year with the help of Damian Lewis in Robert Hunt. Taylor Moton is Mr. Reliable. Yeah, we lost Austin Carver, but Brady Christensen has played very, very well. But the struggles is horrific. Look, we got rid of who? Brian Bonds. We had to trade him. He was going to invest in our offensive side of the ball. We got rid of Frankie Luvu. Technically, we didn't get rid of him. He took a lesser deal at Washington because he wanted to play with Dan Quinn. Jeremy Chin, he wasn't used as much last year. Then you got injuries to Derek Brown, Jose Jewell, Shaq Thompson. If we're gonna blame the defensive side of the ball just on the players, we can't. We're not watching football properly. Everybody we signed this off season, Evero, Evero wanted them. Everybody we signed playing Evero's system. Ishan come up with Evero's system in St. Louis. Jose Jewell come up with Evero's system in Denver. Jordan Fuller come up with his system in LA in the Rams. Nick Scott come up with his system in the Rams. Everybody we signed come up with his system. So you trying to tell me, you tell us that you want these players on your team, and you still suck. You still suck after you call for these players.
Means the players suck.
Jesus Christ, man! But again, I don't. If you cannot control the line of scrimmage, you will get ruined. Because guess what? Bo Nix just had all day to stand up in the backfield and throw. He had all day to stand up in that backfield and throw the ball. If you cannot create pressure, you will get ruined all day. And then when you run in the ball and getting 6-7 yards a carry, you're gonna get ruined all day. Granted, they only scored 28 points, but that's because that's a Bo Nix. We still gotta go there and play Kansas City. Kansas City might set a record on us for 70 points or maybe 80 because we can't get nobody at the quarterback. My thing about it is we on the defensive side of the ball is so horrendous. All of us will be here watching football. I just mute my mic when I hear. I don't want to hear me cussing and want to throw something in a wall or something. I just don't mute my mic on the Xbox. I just don't feel you should be hearing my type of distress on a sudden. So I just mute the mic. Because at some point we have to do something. We gotta have a sense of pride. Offensive side of the ball, look, I really like what we're not gonna reap the benefits right now, but I do believe I really like what we're doing on the offensive side of the ball because you have future foundational pieces. Running back, you have Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard. All right, wide receiver, I keep telling KG this, and he'll laugh. That Holy Cross guy is a sick man. That is a bad man.
The way by
Jalen Coker.
Croker.
That is a bad man. Jalen Coker and Xavier Legette is a good way to start. Legette has high potential and Coker is very underrated, but he has high potential. Tight end, you have Jatavion Sanders. He's ranked number 1 right now in terms of separation there with all receivers. That's a good young core to start with, especially with the line you built. Now, my issue is, do we have the quarterback to get him the ball? I know, fellas, how you feel. I like Bryce still. Oh, sometimes when I watch some of them balls Bryce throw, they look like he's throwing a beach ball. It just float. I try to say, my type of player, I want a gunslinger. I try to say, I want a gunslinger. I'm afraid to say. I like a baker and then for that I could throw the ball. I would zip. You understand what I'm saying? That's the type of player I want as my quarterback. Nothing against Bryce Young. Bryce Young got to play in a certain system to work with it. Right now, he made some good throws, but I still think he had a little shell shock. He had an okay game. The run game wasn't very much thing, but it's not all on him. I got a big problem with Dave Canales. So I feel like Dave Canales just don't care when Bryce Young in the game. Like, he'd call a more fun type of game with Dalton, because you could trust Dalton. But he, what fucking trying these wide receiver screens all the time for? And then you got 2 back-to-back to delay a game penalties. Well, you could have 1, but how you have 2 back-to-back? That makes sense? So, I just kind of hard, me, the rash fan, would say fire everybody and start over. But you can't fire Dave Canales, because then who going to take that job after? You just fire somebody last year and then you fire him again this year? You got to stick it out with Canary. I would never fire them. I don't think they're the issue. I know the team had to go down again to go back up because it's a rebuild. But I like we only week 8. We got it Saints this week. Derek Carr look like he come back. Then we going all the way jump just to embarrass ourselves. You flying all the way across the world just to embarrass yourself. But so I don't know. Then you got bye week. That probably is the biggest win for the season. The bye week, because nobody go through it. But again, you got good foundational pieces on the offensive side. I guarantee the priority is going to be the defensive side. I had tell you this already. I don't think they would have invest in the defense. No, because why invest in the defense under Evero and then he ain't going to be here next year? So you understand what I'm trying to say? So they won't be scheme fits. I guarantee they're going to let him go and they're going to bring in a defensive coordinator who Canales wants, and then you build the defense. You have to build a defense that way. You could invest in players there. They invested in the offensive side of the ball this year because Canales is also the de facto offensive coordinator. You help the offense. We just got 1-year deals on the defensive side for Evero to that fit his scheme. Unfortunately, it ain't working. Next year in our season, I expect a lot more emphasis on the trenches, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But again, the Panthers in a state of debacle right now. Like you really can't say nothing else broken. No, we kind of expected this, that Deontay Johnson was traded to the Baltimore Ravens. He already fractured a relationship. You can't go on a post game press conference and say, "Well, I can't play every position on the field." You can't look at players. Team like you is Justin Jefferson, so you ain't doing team like you out there just you making it sound like you being open every single time. I see you dropping balls out there and think. Don't get me wrong, he played hard, but don't go out there and say I can't play every. So you're trying to say that everybody just suck on the team. I mean, let the fans say, not you. Cause you in the locker room with them, you're gonna strain the relationship in the locker, right? I don't think he was gonna sign back with him. So I think you should have traded him. Now my issue, I tell Shane, I didn't know if you were there, KJ. I tell Shane, I would have probably wait till next week when the deadline is. And they got way more teams that are more desperate for a wide receiver than the Ravens. You had Houston just get bad news on Stephon Diggs. I was saying the Niners banged up. I could go through a list of teams that would desperately need a wide receiver, a good running wide receiver right now. And you'd probably get a fourth or a conditional third.
The Buccaneers just lose a receiver.
Exactly. I don't think they would have traded within the division. So I'll take that one out. I don't think that part would have been a thing. But I can go through a list.
The Giants need a receiver.
But they ain't winning, so I don't think they would have go for any. My thing is like there's still a number of teams that need a receiver that you can think. You can't trade him back to Pittsburgh. So that was out of the question. The Chargers is a team that 5-3 or something like that, or 4-2 or 4-3. They desperately need another receiver. The Chargers is a team that you could have looked at as well. Again, I call the Niners one. I call the Texans one. These are win-no teams. But to trade Deontay Johnson and a 6th for a 5th, that hurt my heart today. Because guess what? Where do you think Baltimore 5th going to be? To the end of the back end of the room. Where do you think the Panthers 6th going to be? To the start of the damn room. So you just trade to move up about 15 spots? Come on, man. You could at least get a 4th or a 3rd. Maybe a 3rd, conditional 4 that could turn into a 3rd. But don't tell me all you could get was a pick swap for Deontay Johnson. That you trade players to accumulate picks to help your team. We just didn't do that. And I really didn't like that part there that happened. But I mean, what we could say, fellas, like at this point, why watching on Sundays? Because I don't know.
Progression.
With the Beagle. That's what I've been telling you guys. I know.
If it happen, you don't want to miss it. You gotta watch it to see it. You know, and
No,
watch.
the thing happened after 8 weeks. I don't know when. And the problem is, I might hear Canales come on Wednesday and say, "Well, and the Dalton's thumb is ready, is healed, and he's a starting quad." Why you gaining from no? You won at 7. Why you gaining by putting Andy Dalton? Like all of us had agreed Bryce Young needed to get benched at the start of the season. In that game against the Denver defense that ranked 4th in the NFL, he actually threw for the most yards of any team against Denver this year, 205 or something. That Denver was whole year down on the defensive side of the bar with 2 rookie quarterbacks, wide receiver. We had no Adam Thielen, no Deontay Johnson, and a run game that wasn't working too good. At this point, if you take back out Bryce Young and put Andy Dalton in, you lose the trust of your whole fan base. Because what you proving by putting Andy Dalton back in there? You really can't prove nothing right now by doing that. You got to play Bryce Young from now to the rest of the season and evaluate him. As Shane said, you're hoping for progress and hopefully one day, a game or 2 and keep going. You can't bench Bryce Young right now. So I would say, even if you're going to trade him, I think they're going to trade him either by the deadline or in the off season. I don't think he's the answer going forward in Cali. Something you got to suck in your pride and just admit it. But you're doing way more harm by putting him on the bench. I guarantee no fucking fans coming there to see no Andy Dalton on no damn Sunday. I tell you that from now. No fucking fans coming there. You got to play Bryce Young. So I would say, you have to. You have to. The state of the Panthers, Lord, I only wish that I had see a light at the end of the tunnel. I really can't see it right now. Because you know what the problem is? If you look through the whole fan base, we're going to get a top 1 or 2 pick. And fans clamoring that we should take Travis Hunter. He's a blue chip prospect in the NFL draft where you go best player available. As much as I would like a Travis Hunter, I ain't drafting Travis Hunter. So I had to say, she ain't know who I going after if I was a GM. The Mason, you go back in a 4-3 defense and got Derek Brown and Mason Graham up the middle, you build the trenches. That's how you start to win games. Because guess what? I could put Travis Hunter out there, but they ain't gonna stop you if you can't stop the run.
The problem gonna be is the pressure. I'm used to either pick Shador or Travis. That's gonna be the pressure.
I don't even think that Hoyer and Shador, like if it's a quarterback, I'll tell you who they like. Cam Ward from Miami. And I like Cam Ward too. But you know who I like too? The LSU quarterback. He's just a later run. I'd rather pick up somebody in a later run to develop than to go up there and pick Cam Ward or one of them. So I would say that first round pick needs to be somebody that come down the field and be a difference maker one time. If I had number 1 or 2, I tell I trade them down. I could trade down to about 5 or 6 and still pick up Mason Graham. The Raiders, the Giants, the Browns, they are going to be in the top 10. One of them going to want Shador more than somebody. And they're going to have to trade up to get him. We don't have to trade much down. I would drop from 1 to about 5 or 6, New York or one of them. And I draft him Mason Graham. We need an impact edge rusher. So I would just say, but you guys know my philosophy. We build from the trenches. Having Derek Brown and Mason Graham there and a 4-3 defense, I think is a great way to start. What people saying is, like I seen a lot of sources say, Canales and Salah's very good friends. I sure Canales wants Salah as a defensive coordinator if he don't get a head coaching job. And you know Tepper, he afraid to shove money down your throat to come. And if that's the case, if we do get hypothetically, if we do get like a Salah, have Derek Brown, Mason Graham there, I think that's a good start. But that's too far down the road to look at right now. It's just the team right now. Like I say, I just mute my mic. I don't want to hear. I either hear the depression I in. Like you can watch and just you know, even if your team bun you're still there to try to win. You could still, when the Panthers go down by 3, you know the game over. Tina said like you could come back, you know. That's it. You go down by 3 and the game done. Like I just need to see some type of improvement. We playing the Saints, the same Raiders, the first game of the season. Them banged up. No receivers, no Shaheed, no Olave. The defense ain't as good as it was the Saints ain't as good as the Saints were. They win the first two and lose most of the rest. Them like 2-5, something like that. You gotta stick it to the Saints on Sunday. Do I feel we could win? I need to see who the quarterback. I think so. We can win. But do I believe we can win? No. I think we could win, but believe it? No. But I believe the game could be 21-17 or 21-20, 21-18, something like that. We gotta try something. Well, I could see. Every Tuesday I gotta come here and pour my heart and soul into the show, talking about what gonna stop me from going on a rampage because of Panthers. A good thing I don't go to the games. I could just watch it here on my Xbox and then mute my mic and leave while you watch our games and I go about my business. Because look here, if I go on Twitter now, everybody out here cussing the Panthers. Well, what's the point? What's the point of me going to take everybody cussing the Panthers? So like, it ain't only me. So I don't understand. So like I said, but the problem with we is we in a worse position than other teams. Like, look, the coach just bench Anthony Richardson. You are the number 3 pick. 3 of us watching the games, Anthony Richardson suck.
Mm-hmm.
But the team overall ain't bad. The team still got fighting. That's why they made the change. Because with Flacco, they're still winning games. Anthony Richardson is a big issue. Why could go there and say about the Panthers who has the big issue? Why you gonna have to put an S at the end of it? What's the big issues? A coaching issue, a culture issue, a leadership issue, a quarterback issue, a defensive issue, and all part of the thing, a whole defensive issue. I don't know. Are you yet hear me say we need a leader to run the ship on this team? We don't have no leaders. And David Connect, he'd come there and they said, this is what about me more. He'd come there in the press conference. Well, we just got to go back to the basics, to the fun. Like, fucking basics. Go there and cuss up somebody and get fined. Say I play like shit, and then when a reporter tell you something, ask if I retarded or something, ask me stupid question. You don't show up passion.
Nah, man.
I think that broke him, I think that broke him. I think so. But we got to see. We got to play the Saints at Carolina. I don't really know who's going out to the game. The game going to be about $1.80. So I think if I'm in the US, I would have go. $1.80 for a ticket, we could have go KG. $1.80 is going to be about $2 the most. But we could have go to the game. But why going to watch? I'm going to tell you, I'm watching it. But any stupidness, don't ask me nothing, I turn it off. I ain't staying there for 3 hours to watch the Panthers do a bunch of shit. I did for 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I can't do it no more. All right. We get a bad out of the way. Go deal with the good. Why don't I go ahead and talk something good here about football, buddy? Anybody? I done with the bad here.
And so the finals going into this week. I try to recover from that sad news we just come, but the finals going into this week. Neither win mentally, physically against the Dallas Cowboys. And before we start, though, breaking news out of San Fran that Travis Ward, the starting corner for the 49ers, lost his 1-year-old daughter today. So blessing and prayers out to Travis and the 49ers family on that. And back to the game, the finals hosting the Cowboys, playing the Cowboys, and Shanahan again proving with the win that he's still owning McCarthy and the Cowboys. I think this is the 6th straight time they beat them. Cowboys came up with a game plan following the book of the Chiefs and the Vikings. Came out, loading up the box, blitzing, and the finals look a little rough at the beginning, but the Cowboys couldn't capitalize on it. It's going into the first half, I think it was 3-7 or 2-10, I think, going in. At the beginning, 49ers wasn't getting the pass game down packed. We're looking sloppy again. Penalties, drop passes, stuff that happen when you're playing with more younger players than you're playing with your regular players, I see. But working with the young players in regards to what Shridi ain't seen, I'm seeing the progression from the Ricky Porcel, the Isaac Dorendos, the Jair Browns, the Mustafas, and the Renato Greens on the finals, stepping up, making big plays, and going into coverage. Got into halftime, Shanahan made a couple of adjustments, came out and started to work the Dallas Cowboys. Going up, the score was 24-7, I think, at one point. And then stepping off the gas a little bit, I would say, not with the offense, but defensively, you start to see the mistakes. And the game could have been worse than it should have been. We should have had 50 points against Dallas, but we had two big plays called back on penalties. One was on Eric Sabat. That was the pass to Debo, where Debo went on the field for about 60 yards for a touchdown. They called that one back because it was a hole on that one. Isaac Grendo had a big play where he went for a big run and almost scored a touchdown, but they called that back for a holding again on Juszczyk, I think it was, got that hold. So Paulie played well against the blitz, no interceptions. I think he only had 2 sacks. He had 1 passing touchdown to Kittle, and he had 2 rushing, and then he had a rushing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. 260 yards passing, completion percentage rate. He had a quarterback rating of 114. So pretty good game for Paulie in the face of a blitz with playing against a 6-man box the whole time. Defensively, still missing Hufanga, still missing Greenlaw. So we had Renaro Green playing second corner. But he was filling in sometimes for corner for Diamond Leno. We were playing in nickel position. And you had Jair Brown up there, who's basically filling in for Hufanga, but is playing an awesome job. CeeDee Lamb in the second half started to torch the defense because of misassignments. One misassignment was on Malik Mustafa, where he's supposed to play the zone, and he ended up chasing the underneath receiver out of the way and let CeeDee Lamb wide open for a touchdown. That was 1 touchdown. Score is now 24-14. Then we score a field goal. I think we end up 27-24, 27-14. And then going on the field again, a lot of mismatches, a lot of problems with Renato Green leaving his zone, drifting in his zone, leaving CeeDee Lamb to come underneath wide open underneath for a big game. And then another busted play where Mustafa came down and ran into Renato Green, leaving CeeDee Lamb wide open again in the back of the end zone. And we were looking like, here we go again. Finals will blow the lead again because now it's 27-21. We stand fast. And Dak being Dak, throwing he picks again, flustered by Bosa and making mistakes and throwing picks. And Lenoir had an awesome interception where he just read the play. When I look at the film, some of the analysts were saying that he ran the same play that we ran against the Cowboys way back in the day when the catch was Dwight Clark catch. And Lenoir had an interview on his pick. He said, yeah, he realized what play they were running, and he just basically ran the route, that CeeDee Lamb route, even though he still made an awesome catch for the interception. And then that just couldn't move the ball. I think Zimmer just got, not Zimmer, Zimmer's defensive coordinator, my bad. McCarthy got just flustered again and just gave up on the run game and put the trust in Dak, and Dak is not, he ain't doing it. Now we just CeeDee Lamb. That team need help. From an standpoint, though, we were able to finish the game. Good runs by Isaac Guerrero. That's good to see from a rookie. That means we got good backs. Jordan Mason got banged up again. Debo got banged up as well. So at one point, we were there without Debo, without Jordan Mason. We just Isaac Guerrero, and then a bunch of rookies and tall stringers again. But we hold the strain. Kip took over the game as he should. And he finished with 128 yards and a touchdown. So a solid game from Kittle. No. Getting that win. Finals are now 4-4. Second in the division to Arizona, who's 4-4 as well. So our division is still wide open. So we got a good chance. We have a bye week this week. That's even better. Because coming back after the bye week, our reports leading that we can have back McCaffrey. Our reports leading that we can have back Greenlaw. Our reports leading that we can have back Hufanga. Debo need a break because he banged up. So we should have our moves back up to full string minus Ayuk on our offensive side of the ball. Should we back up to full string again minus Hargrave on the defensive side of the ball. So going into after the bye, we got to play Tampa Bay. Going into Tampa Bay to play Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a little banged up. We'll see how they fare coming into there. They have a game against the Chiefs, I think, this week coming up, and then they'll be gonna play us. So we see how they look. But the 49ers are looking good coming back after the bye week. And again, due to history, the 49ers are always ramp up coming onto the last half of the season. So maybe we might go on a fly. Maybe finish the season good again, win the division. Like I say, all the divisions wide open. This ain't like other divisions you're looking at while people battling.
What is schedule like? What is schedule like after the bye week?
After the bye week, we have, I'll tell you now. We have so we have Tampa Bay is the first game after the bye week. Then we have the Seahawks. Then we have the Packers. Then the Buffalo Bills.
They missed 2 tough games, Packers, Bills.
Then the Bears. Then the Rams. Then the Dolphins. And the Lions to finish. Not the Lions. Then the Lions. Then the Cardinals to finish the season.
Yeah, Lions.
See, the beauty of what she says is like nobody. Well, all the time while the 49ers are struggling, nobody in the division went out there and take control of the division.
Yep.
For a team that so strong, at least 5-2 or something to at least help. But nobody went out there and controlled the division. You leave the 49ers back into the thing. Again, I didn't watch the game. I watched the game, so I fell asleep. I was too disappointed in the Panthers. But like she said,
too.
Yeah, you did.
Like she said though, like the Cowboys.
You leave me to the stress for myself.
it ain't the Cowboys of last year. They got a lot of issues in
a lot of deficiencies.
Jared Jones, you gotta blame himself. He's the GM.
Mm-hmm.
That team got a lot of issues, but like you guys see, the 49ers, don't let them get healthy. Don't let them catch them destroyed, because then as they're 4-4, but don't for 1 second think that they ain't a good team. It's still a good team, and other people need to learn. I mean, Arizona 4-4. Did they surprise anyone? I think so. At 4-4, I didn't expect them to be 4-4. What you call it? What their name is? The Seahawks.
Yes, they started off hot, and then they got into a drought. And I think they lose 4 straight games.
Yeah. I mean, the team. I don't know.
They started off 3, no?
Mm-hmm.
And
then the Rams is my sneaky wild card there.
Yeah.
You don't ever go against that guy McVay. That guy McVay, Stafford. Once he got Stafford, you know what he's doing. So you got to look at that from that point of view. But you give the 49ers a chance, they're going to come in. And like she said, they're going to get healthy. McCaffrey brings a whole nother dimension to them. I mean, having Pearsall back now week 1, that's good. I thought we were going to see they'll be probably somebody that I thought that would have checked in on Deontay Johnson. He's the road runner.
It was. Shanahan did show interest in Deontay. She did.
I just think knowing that he'd get back, that he would get Pearsall and then back, it wasn't an urgency.
I think what happened, seeing the progression of Pearsall in the last 2 weeks help him settle down. Because remember, after you get injured, we kind of went into a panic mode.
Right.
Sorry. And but Pearsall came out because we didn't know what to expect from him coming back from his injury. So
again, having him come back with Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey, it is so much of a need. But again, when you look at teams like the Chiefs, they keep adding and adding and adding. That's what makes them so good. They keep adding. So got to look at it from that point of view too. But like, I know KJ and your take with it. The 49ers, team to mess around with. So I know that
they still have a chance to win that division. I mean, as we said, Cardinals ain't got enough to keep up with. Eventually, they're gonna start a tail off. Because American can't keep on with those heroics, whatever. The Seahawks seem up and down. They might pick back up later down the season, but right now they fluctuate in their half and on. I think the only steady team right now in that division that probably could give them a run is the Rams because of McVay, the veteran Stafford, and those two weapons on the outside. I mean, on the inside.
The thing is, the Cardinals got a victory on them already.
Yeah, got a victory on them too. Yeah, that's true.
That was at home or away for the Niners?
That was away.
I think because they already got two losses in the division, right? The Rams and
the Rams and the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, the Rams won. So again, being tall, you kind of still behind because they got a team, but they still got to play them again. So
I think the Rams will be the biggest.
Have a losing division, a losing record right now. So that's the only reason they don't get.
Yeah.
Or they got some big wins against Vikings, against IU, so they beat NFC teams.
Mm-hmm.
So that is usually help you.
They're gonna roll out some wins just now.
The Rams. Who the Rams going to play? The Rams going to play the Raiders this week.
Yeah,
that should be a easy victory for
them. They'll win.
So, I mean, like we see, the 49ers. If you didn't get your chance to go and take advantage of the thing, you wait a little too long now because as she see, they're getting healthy. They're getting healthy, so something you got to look out for.
The Rams playing the Seahawks this week.
See, so that much stuff you got to look at.
The game, so that should be.
The Rams playing Seahawks. Oh shit! But who I see playing the Raiders? What they?
The Raiders playing Cincinnati
this week.
Week 9, right? Yeah.
Where the hell I see the Rams playing it? Hey, something got me wrong. Why should I see the Rams playing the thing? I don't know. I out of it right now with the Panthers. I don't know.
All right.
All right, so again, ship it over now to Philly. Had a good win against the Bengals. Just what you see.
It was a step in the right direction so far yet again. Coming out of the bye, I think this is their third win. On a winning streak, on a 3-game winning streak. Going into this game, no Jad Mailata, no Mekhi Becton. You would think that Trey Hendrickson and somewhat of the Cincinnati defensive line would have caused havoc, but that's not the case. Not when you have the superior offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland out there. There was not a whole lot from Trey Hendrickson in this game. Name was hardly called in this game. I don't know if you guys watched the game, but you hardly hear announcers say, "Oh, Trey Hendrickson is wreaking havoc against the backup offensive lineman in Fred Johnson." Fred Johnson gave up 0 sacks and 1 pressure. Credit to Jeff Stoutland for that. As for Tyler Steen, he came in a few hiccups here and there, but he was able to settle down and held his own. As for Jalen Hurts, another great game again. He had he was 16 for 20, 280 something yards, a touchdown, a QBR of 95.3 and a passer rate of 135.3. Didn't look good in the first half. Not in the first half, but in the first quarter, I should say. For some reason, we still can't get the ball rolling in the first quarter. Still need to work on that. I don't know what's going on with the scripted plays. I don't know if it's just Nick Sirianni, is it Kelly Moore, is it a tandem? Do they not know how to get Saquon Barkley involved in the game plan early? I don't know, but they gotta get it fixed. But later in the first quarter, they was able to settle down. Jalen Hurts, after looking last in the first 3 drives, was able to open his eyes this time and make a few decent plays down the field. You saw the short routes. It wasn't a whole lot of deep developing routes down the field, 15 yards down the field. You saw some comeback routes from AJ Brown. You saw Devontae Smith sitting in zone coverage. You saw the crossing route, the patterns. You saw Grant Calcaterra in a sweep. You saw him in a slant. You saw him in a dig route. You saw him in a comeback route. So you saw a bunch of different routes later in the first half. And you see in that game, you're asking yourself, where was this all in the season? At the end of that first half, it was 10-10. Second half started. The defense just found a way to step up. I don't know if it was just Vic Fangio making the proper adjustments. It was the players put more effort into the game, because in the first quarter, it seemed like they didn't have enough effort. Joe Burrow was having his way down the field. I think he converted on a 3rd and 6, a 3rd and 22, running around the field like he's Lamar Jackson, getting first downs, delivering the ball on time, delivering the ball accurately. For some reason, Vic Fangio just didn't have an idea or understanding that Ja'Marr Chase was the only person on the field. But in the second half, he made the adjustment. Made the receivers play a little tighter. Brought more pressure. Brought blitzes. Showed different disguised his coverage. Showed different coverages. Quinyon Mitchell, he's playing like he's a second-year cornerback. Cooper DeJean, another big adjustment that Vic Fangio made after the bye week. We started Cooper DeJean over Avante Maddox in the slot. He's playing great in the slot right now. I think PFF has him number 5 overall in coverage. That's good for a rookie playing in the slot. I don't want to see Avante Maddox on the field anymore. There was a play where I think it was a outrock to Mike Gesicki, and Gesicki beat him outright for easy play. I would rather see Kaylee Ringo in that spot. I don't want to see the veterans anymore. Even when Darius Slay came in for the not Darius Slay, Isaiah Rodgers came into the game with Darius Slay, made a play, tipped the ball to and this was on Ja'Marr Chase too as well. Tipped the ball to Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for an easy interception. Playmakers. That's what you need on the field. Slay's old. You might as well, since now that he has his injury, put him on the injury reserve for the next 4 weeks. Need the young players play. The linebackers, they played great. I gave him Nakobe Dean a lot of hell, but he played great in this game. Was okay in the passing game. He still needs to be a lot better. But as for the blitz, great in the blitz. Showing quickness, showing instinctiveness. In the run game, same thing. Showing quickness, showing instinctiveness. Doesn't seem last. Wasn't getting beat by the offensive lineman. Was showing effort. We had another sighting from Nolan Smith again. He had a sack under pressure. We had another sighting from Bryce Huff again. So I'll give Vic Fangio a lot of shit at times, but I gotta give him credit for making the adjustment and allowing his defensive ends and rushers to get their hands on the ground a little bit, understanding that they can't rush the passer standing up. They're not that type of those type of edge rushers. They're in the ground pass rushers. Well, what is a 4-point stance? That's what it is. That's what they are. I also got to give him credit for not sticking with the first-round draft pick in Jordan Davis. He realized he wasn't playing well, realized he wasn't dominating the run game, and bench him. Thomas Booker stepping in and playing good. Milton Williams stepped in and playing great. Jalen Carter is looking like the dominant force that we all thought he would have been coming out of the draft. So again, it's a step in the right direction. We just need to get better in the first quarter. That's all. We're making the proper adjustments later in the games, making the proper adjustments in the second halves. We need to start using Saquon Barkley a little bit more all in the football games. We all know that now that Saquon can be your starter, your middle of the game punisher, and your finisher at the end of the game. You saw it. He had 22 carries for 108 yards, and I think in the first half he only had 9 carries for 37 yards. So the Eagles are still, they're not where they want to be, and that's okay because you really don't want your team peaking right now so early in the season. You want your team to be peaking later down in the season. But so far is a step in the right direction. Offense seems to be getting some wrinkles out of there. They look like they're settling down a little bit. I love what I saw with the play action and the read option. I think there was a deep play that came off a play action pass to Devontae Smith down the field for easy touchdown. I didn't see that. I didn't see none of that last year. So again, it's a step in the right direction, and I think Kellen Moore offense is now taking farm with this team. But on to Jacksonville, and we'll watch out Jacksonville, and that'll be 4-0.
That should be a win.
That'll be a win.
You got anything to you?
No, I think I'm glad to hear KG finally giving my partner Nico Dean some props.
He played good. Still struggling in the passing game, but in the run game and tackling and all other facets, he was good.
And I think the Eagles, being watching, doing the show with you guys, you kind of become a lead fan of the other teams because you have to watch them so you can keep up when you guys talking to know what you're talking about.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever in your life say that again. Don't make me gotta bust it on live TV. After what you just told me.
Oh boy.
Regardless of what the fellow over there is saying, watch the teams a little bit, watch the highlights, read about them, and understand what they're saying. Philly, I think, is a team that should be overpowering a lot of the teams in the NFL right now with the talent that they have on there. They just ain't putting it together fully, and I think I'm kind of glad to see that they kind of putting their defense together and they're able to put up points. I think that's the most points you scored for the year so far.
Yeah, 37.
37. And trying to get that offense. The problem I have with Philly is the consistency. And I always say KG that the consistency. They don't carry that well over. They should because it's the same style of play that they have a good quarterback, they have good running back, they have good wide receivers, they have a good defense. They should be able to stifle and put up the points at will all the time. They got damn play that nobody can stop in the NFL. They should be able to convert, move the ball down the field, and put up points the whole time. So kind of looking for them to get back into this rhythm again that will put them up there in the NFC East. You got Dallas is faltering now, but now you have Washington that looking dynamic right now. So now you have to consider it's the same thing with the finals. When the finals chance was there to take over the division, the Seahawks were hot. Here comes a Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson leave, you're trying to take over the division, you got to deal with a Matthew Stafford. So you got to take advantage of the division when you have a chance. Dallas is spiraling. We ain't worrying about the Giants. They're done. They got to do something out there. But no insult Jaden Daniels. When you can say, okay, Eagles should be running away with the NFC East, but now you got to deal with Jaden Daniels. So now you got to fight a dog fight on your hands with a young.
He don't come back down to earth just.
Right. But the league don't know about him yet. You got to wait a year before the league find out about him. So, but here comes this dog.
It just takes the right defensive coordinator to find out his weaknesses and expose it. That's all.
Right. So,
I'll tell you one thing though. The one thing Washington do real good was fit Jaden Daniels with a coordinator that understands Jaden Daniels and how he play. Cliff Kingsbury. He was never a very good head coach, but he was a damn good coordinator and play caller in college. They just bring the same college concept over and have Jaden Daniels continue. Jaden Daniels play 5 years of college football. He like he fresh or so. He played 5 years. He got experience. And what you do? Don't bring him in the NFL to change him. Bring somebody that known how to call plays. Wasn't a good head coach. Nobody gonna go there and call Cliff Kingsbury phone to try to get him a haircut. But he's a damn good play caller. And just make it just easy transition. Let Dan Quinn deal with the defense and the rest of it. But Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels know what they're doing. Other teams need a starting. You don't need the McVays, and so McVays and them is like, again, I go back to this again. Carolina tried that. You try to bring up McVay. You don't have to. Bring a leader as a damn head coach. Bring a leader among men as a damn. Dan Quinn is one thing. He's a damn good leader. I'll tell you that. Players like to play for him. He's a damn good leader. And build your coaches there and build your roster. Nobody expect Washington to be 6-2. Nobody. Because the defense they're still lacking some stuff on defense. But guess what? You bring the right people around, they can work. Bring the right people around, it can work. You think them asking Jaden Daniels to go there and throw 350 yards all the time? They just play effective offense. Run pass option, read option. The only thing about them is be careful. You don't want Jaden Daniels running too much and get injured. But it's so effective. And he throwing the ball down the field to Terry McLaurin and
Accurately,
Dwayne
too.
and them fellow accurate. They know what they're doing because that game against, if you take away the Hail Mary, they only had scored like 12 points. For the most part, Chicago defense played a very good game. He like he out there just touching everybody. But the point is, you surround your organization, you run quarterback with the right people, the team gonna come together. That team believe you got good vets, Luvu, Wagner, Duran Payne, and them fellas. The team gonna come together. Whereas, as you guys said, like the Eagles and the Niners and them kind of teams is teams I expect to always be in a conversation up there. Right now, I don't know. Good luck. The only thing that could stop Detroit is the injuries. But the Eagles is still a team that you recognize to be up there. The Eagles is a strong team. They are a strong team to be up there. And that's my thing about it. Like Takeshi cuss a lot about the Eagles. But again, I would be riding what his name? Saquon. Riding Saquon. And then just open it up. Open it up after, because guess what? They can eventually bite down on the play action.
So easy.
I don't know what it's the same thing with like Baltimore. They don't ride Derrick Henry. This last game against Cleveland, Derrick Henry only had 11 rushes.
Yeah.
You got big time player like that, you only got 11 or something.
I didn't see Derrick Henry to the total clock.
Exactly, like me kids, you're here when you
See,
the
problem.
Taiwan Sheen. How the hell you ain't giving Saquon the ball? Every time they get Saquon the ball, then the game going in Philly favor. When they start giving Saquon the ball, KG up here cussing because God knows what them out there doing. But he ain't rocket science.
The problem with these teams and these coordinators is you go into a game, you're going against the 20th ranked pass defense. So you feel like you'll just go there and throw all game. When you go do that, you forget about the run game.
Yep.
So teams don't realize that, okay, when you run the ball, so are we going to just do sit back and coverage because you run the football? Simple as that, regardless of the rankings of the defense. You can't forget about the run game. And if you got prolific running back like Derrick Henry and Saquon, you got to incorporate them in the offensive game plan. Simple. One thing, but as much as you want to say that Shanahan is stubborn, when Christian McCaffrey is there, he's in that offensive game plan every week. Because he knows ain't nobody in the NFL who could actually stop that dude one-on-one. Whether in the pass or even one-on-one in a going up against a defender trying to tackle him. And he knows the effectiveness that and the talent that Christian McCaffrey brings, so use him. Saquon Barkley is not as good as Christian McCaffrey in the passing game, but he's close to there. I would like to see Saquon Barkley spread out wide at times. Use him in the passing game against a linebacker sometimes. Be creative, man.
Get him mismatch. Yeah, they laying up in a 6-man.
Get him in space. Get him in space. And I keep saying it. When the offense decides to fully make Saquon the focal point, the offense going to soar. It's going to go far. But they have to start doing it.
Well, we had the halfway. We almost had a halfway. We had a halfway point.
Basically, yeah, the halfway
point. But they gotta start, and I think it's the organizational philosophy of this nonsense about create big plays and start big plays and stop that type of nonsense and start passing the football early and run the football later. Like, nah, you got to change. Let's start finding ways to get Saquon Barkley going all in the game, and then after let's walk in the passing game, short, intermediate to deep, and then after you walk in the play action and certain things and stuff like that. But again, it's a step in the right direction so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, actually, you see, right in the middle of the year now, so you got to know what you got right now. Cam is still trying to figure it out.
Next year, and they said the team is run first, so we'll see.
And I hope so. I hope you listen to that, because don't be like Dave Canales and say the team runs through the run game and then don't run the ball at all.
Exactly.
So
they fail to. This organization fails to understand that the run game is what got you to the Super Bowl that year. The running game. J.J. Ajayi was dominant. LeGarrette Blunt was dominant. Corey Clement was dominant. The offensive line was unstoppable. The run game is what got you there. Yes, Carson Wentz played out his mind, but the run game is what got you there. The run game is what helped you win that Super Bowl too as well. So can't forget about the run game.
Yeah, so we gotta continue to see what's gonna happen in terms of how the season goes. You guys are in a fight for the division with Washington, Sheen in a fight for the division. Technically everybody, because everybody right around the same thing.
Wait,
A lot of football to play, but like you see, week 9, you kinda know what you got by now. Week 9, you gotta know what you got. So we gotta look at it from that perspective. All right, well, I mean, that's our point of view from Philly, Carolina, and San Fran. Talk about the trade. Some other trades that happened with the receivers. DeAndre Hopkins went to the Chiefs. Cooper went to the Bills. Devontae went to the Jets. Then we just had a trade when we were on the show. Cam Robinson, the left tackle,
Yeah.
from the Jaguars down to the Vikings. Got the Vikings lost their left tackle, Derek Shaw, for the year.
he was a backup. Cam Robinson.
No, he was the starter.
So why trade him?
Jaguars ain't going nowhere. He on the franchise tag.
See? That's Jacksonville.
They ain't
Yeah,
gonna they ain't gonna sign him. They're just saying that they ain't gonna sign him back to an extension.
He sucked.
No.
He's serviceable 9 years in the league.
Yeah, he sucked. He was a
So
good
why he's still a building block? Like we I don't know.
I
bet. You
wouldn't
played
say-
him, so you gonna tell us what, man. I
I don't know. I'm
I
glad. Get
wouldn't,
rid of him
really,
here.
I wouldn't really say a villain. Black at this point.
Yeah, but he's a better offensive lineman. But you're gonna look to next year to draft another one again.
A bridge player, but a good bridge player. But
Well, I mean, the Jaguars ain't going into the draft looking at a quarterback, a receiver, and them stuff. They're gonna be one of the first few teams that gonna have them
We need a
choice
receiver.
a lineman. I ain't think they're gonna do that though.
you know for sure because Christian Bell gone.
I mean, for the season, but when you're looking at off season, no. They got Brian Thomas, Christian Cork, they got Gabe Davis. I think they're gonna be fine with that.
I saw a report saying that they should go ahead and sign Chase Claypool.
And well, they got that too. No, because Cork out for the season, and then
Yeah.
Brian Thomas out for a few weeks too. But in the off season, they're gonna choose him left tackle of the future. We know that, so it ain't bad. But I think next week on our show, I think that's gonna be the deadline. So probably have a lot more trades to talk about next week. Hopefully, the Panthers can offload some more players and accumulate picks. But we'll see what happens next week in the trade deadline. But I think that's it for us because we went through everything. Again, Shane has a boy this week. The Panthers got the Saints in Carolina, and then who the Eagles got?
Jacksonville in Philly.
Jacksonville in Philly. So we'll
I think this
Monitor.
is a route.
monitor the Eagles game and the Panthers game for this week, and then come back next Tuesday.
48-10.
Come back next Tuesday and those two games and talk about the trade deadline as well. But yeah, that's it from us. Be sure to like and subscribe to our page, Cash App, Money Sign, Island Boys Talk. But show your love and support by liking and subscribing so you can keep up to date with all the latest news and notes and content. And again, for those that watch the show, if you're an Eagles fan, Niners fan, Panthers fan, you do want to come online and talk some football, send us a DM on Twitter and we could get you to come on the show and voice your frustration if you're a Panthers fan or talk about the Eagles and Niners and the good days. So we'll see what happens. But that's it from us. Check you guys back next week, Tuesday. Hopefully a good week for everybody, but we'll see what happens. But that's it.
Peace.